What's up, guys? I'm Chad Barnes, and welcome to the channel. Here, it's all about real car talk, from simple fixes to smart driving tips and keeping your ride in top shape. If that sounds good to you, go ahead and give the video a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button, and make sure you watch all the way through. There's a lot of good stuff coming. Let's get to it.
If you go to any site that offers a selection of tires by given parameters, and enter as a selection criterion asymmetric tread pattern, you will be offered dozens of options. Among them will be both budget, such as Viati Strada Asymmetrico V130 or Karma negative €129, and expensive tires for the most prestigious. Luxury cars, which offer premium tire brands, Michelin Pilot Sport Cup 2R, Pirelli P0 Corsa Asymmetrico, Goodyear Eagle F1 Supersport, Vredestein Ultrax Sessanta. But this we looked at summer tires. And if we look at tires for winter conditions? And there is the same picture. There are cheaper, Viati Brina Nordico V522, Nitotherma Spike or Geslave Soft Frost 200. They are more expensive, Pirelli. Winter 240 Sotozero or Continental Cross Contact Viking. But if the most famous tire companies from different countries consider it their duty to have tires with asymmetrical pattern in their lineup, it means that it is not only about fashion. Indeed, the idea of asymmetrical tread comes from the world of motorsport, as well as many other technologies originally developed for racing and rigorously tested on the racetrack. After all, what are the main qualities a high-speed car tire should have? It should provide excellent grip, perfect handling, and cornering stability. Accordingly, tires with the largest possible contact patch area will behave best on dry roads. It is not by chance that on dry tracks race cars are equipped with slicks, that is tires, the tread of which is devoid of any pattern at all. But after all, road cars have to drive not only on perfectly smooth and dry asphalt, and races on the autodromes are held not only in dry weather. And water, as you know, has the property of incompressibility, and even the thinnest layer of it, which appeared between the surface of the road and the tire, will instantly reduce the coefficient of adhesion almost to zero. So, this water from the contact patch has to be removed somewhere. For this purpose, the tread is divided into separate blocks, which are separated by drainage grooves. The configuration and mutual arrangement of blocks and grooves form a characteristic tread pattern. And this is where the first contradiction appears. For maximum contact with the road, the area of the rubber blocks should be as large as possible, and the grooves as small as possible, but for the fastest and most effective water removal from the spot everything should be strictly the other way around. The outer shoulder zones play a major role in cornering and braking. This means you need the tightest possible blocks with relatively small grooves separating them. Stability in straight-line driving is the responsibility of the central areas of the tread, which means you need stiff longitudinal ribs. But the excess moisture from the contact patch is best removed from the inner part of the tread, so it is here that the widest and deepest grooves are needed, and their configuration should be aimed precisely at the effective release of moisture. All of this together led to the concept of tires with asymmetrical tread. Let's take a look at how such a tire is designed on the example of the latest Toyo Prox TR1 tires. This model replaced the very successful Prox T1R sports tires, which remained on the assembly line for an incredible 15 years. It was first shown in 2018, and for 2 years now Toyo Prox TR1 regularly appears on the racks of specialized tire stores, attracting customers not only by its aggressive appearance, but also by its moderate price. Indeed, the Prox TR1S belong to the UHP, ultra-high performance, class and have a speed index of V or W, i.e. they allow speeds of up to 240 to 270 km per hour. However, they represent a medium price category. The tire is produced in 57 sizes, and depending on the size, the price per unit varies from 3,500 to 12,000 rubles. For example, tires of modest size 195/50R15 for 3,500 to 4,000 rubles will stand as native on Lada Granta, and low-profile roller size 245/35R20 for 11 to 12,000 can treat a powerful sports sedan or coupe of a premium German or Japanese brand. The first thing that catches the eye is the tread pattern itself, which is completely asymmetrical, somewhat reminiscent of a spruce. Poor, but shrunken on one side. There are 3 longitudinal drainage grooves. 2 wide channels are located closer to the outer part of the tire, forming a central stiffener located between them. Immediately adjacent to the outer longitudinal groove is an outer belt of rigid shoulder blocks that dissect the closed wedge-shaped grooves. As a result, the outer shoulder blocks merge at their bases to form another longitudinal stiffener. Due to their configuration, the outer blocks have virtually no possibility of deformation under lateral loads, which has a beneficial effect on handling. Another wide zigzag longitudinal groove runs along the inner part. It is into it 4 arrow-shaped grooves, diverting water from the contact patch and forming the overall image. And the open transverse grooves connecting to it, which cross the inner shoulder zone, are responsible for completing the work of diverting water from the contact patch and actively counteracting aquaplaning. But it is not only the design of the tread pattern, but also the internal construction of the tire and the composition of the tire compound that is essential to achieving maximum performance on both dry and wet roads. Here again, tire manufacturers are faced with diametrically opposed requirements. For maximum grip and ride comfort, the compound should be as soft as possible, while parameters such as handling and service life require sufficient hardness. The compound from which the Toyo Prox TR1 tires are made is developed using the proprietary nano-balance technology. This technology makes it possible to analyze the properties of the rubber compound at the nanoscale and mix the components with amazing precision, thus achieving the highest possible performance. The compound includes super-active polymers, special polymers that increase wear resistance, silicon dioxide, and carbon black, and the precision and uniformity of mixing allows to achieve a combination of optimal wet grip and low rolling resistance. In this way, 2 main rabbits are killed. High grip is the key to safety, and low rolling resistance values are the key to high fuel efficiency and low fuel consumption. The internal construction of the tire assembles all the main components into a single complex. Prox TR1 is distinguished by high thoughtfulness of each element, because the design was developed with the help of T-mode technology, i.e. computer modeling was widely used in the process of development and during the tests. We will definitely come back to talk about these methods, but for now we will note that the design is optimized to achieve the best handling and directional stability. 2 layers of strong metal cord with high tensile strength and a top layer of spiral bracing with reinforcement in the shoulder zones improves both dry and wet handling and directional stability. A higher, compared to the previous model and many competitors, sidewall tuck in the shoulder area and a heavy-duty sidewall ring give direct response to every turn of the steering wheel, reliability, and long tire life. As a result, the designers got a very significant increase in parameters. For example, Toyo Tires measured the braking distance of a VW Golf on wet pavement when braking from 100 km per hour to a complete stop. Compared to the result of its predecessor, the Prox T1R, it was reduced by 16%. That doesn't seem like much. But in real life, the braking distance on wet roads is usually at least 120 meters. This means that the braking distance on the new tires will be less by as much as 18 to 20 meters, and this distance may well separate a fleeting episode, during which you got some adrenaline release and about which you will forget in a couple of hours, from a real disaster, with a long and expensive repair or, God forbid, with injured people. Rolling resistance has also been reduced by 10%, as confirmed by tests conducted at the Toyo Tires Technical Center in Hyogo. But there is another point that cannot be left out: usability. And here we need to remember the history. In its time, tires with asymmetrical tread pattern at first caused car owners a real euphoria, and spectacular, and effective. However, as they once wrote in novels, the rapture quickly subsided. The fact is that the first samples of tires of this type had not just asymmetric, but also directional tread pattern, which meant that the tires were divided into left and right, and when installing on the car to follow it. Plus it was quite unclear what to do with a spare tire. What, to carry 2 spare tires instead of 1? And that's why modern asymmetrical tires, including Toyo Prox TR1, usually have a non-directional pattern. There's only one rule to follow when installing them: the sidewall labeled outside must be on the outside of the car, and the inside must be on the inside. The fact that with this installation wedge-shaped grooves on one side of the car will throw water slightly backward, and on the other, slightly forward, will not affect the handling and any other parameters of the behavior of the tire. At the same time, the tires can be swapped, ensuring even tire wear. To monitor this wear, Toyo Tires has invented a unique indicator. It is located on the longitudinal rib and looks like an oval depression with 5 stars molded on its bottom. If only one of them is left, It means that the tread height has decreased from the original value of 7.9 mm to the critical value of 1.6 mm, and it's time to go to the tire center for a new set. So should you or should you not, preparing for the new season, pay attention to asymmetric tires? Well, the same Toyo Prox TR1? It depends on your system of priorities. If you are primarily concerned with perfect behavior at high speeds, including on wet roads, and you have to drive mostly on high-quality tracks, then why not? But if you need more versatility and often have to ride on bad roads, gravel, or just on the ground, it is better to look at other models. However, Toyo Tires has them in their range, but we will tell you about them next time. In conclusion, the exploration of asymmetrical tread patterns reveals that they are not merely a design choice but serve significant functional purposes as well. From enhancing grip and stability to improving water dispersion and reducing noise, these innovative designs contribute to a safer and more enjoyable driving experience. Toyo Tires exemplifies how aesthetics and performance can go hand in hand, proving that beauty in tire design can also lead to superior functionality. Thank you for joining us on this journey to uncover the true value of asymmetrical tread patterns.